Hello everyone, this is Susie Q's Happy Little Haven, and welcome to my nursery room window. Today I have Brianna with me, and I'm going to be changing her into one of the cute little outfits that she came with in her box opening. And I'm also going to have a show and tell day today. And so let's go ahead and get started. But first of all, before we get started on showing you what Brianna's going to be wearing today and what show and tell is going to be about, something had just happened to me this morning that I want to show you a picture of. It just happened just now, and I can still smell the burning plastic. So yesterday I got the bright idea of putting a 100-watt bulb into my lamps that I use to light up my dressing table. Well, look what happened. I turned it on this morning, and then I went about, preparing for the video, and then when I came back, I smelled melting plastic, and this is why. I am devastated because it took me a long time to find this particular lamp set. It's a two bulb set. And anyway, I think I found it on eBay, and hopefully they'll still have some. But just a warning, if on the item, there's a minimum, or not a minimum, but a maximum amount of wattage of light bulb that you should put in your lamps. This is why. And I've never had this happen before. The plastic is melted right onto the light bulb. So anyway, this is why they say these can be fire hazards. So I'm going to be working off of my one lamp right now, which is right there. And so I guess that's my first show and tell item. I wasn't planning on showing that item this morning, but there you have it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is changing Brianna. And I have a couple of stories to tell you. The first one is I wanted to tell you the story about my real-life Bambi that I rescued. And then I wanted to show you, this is a little tiny egg. I told you about the egg nest, the nest of eggs that I found in my garage a few days ago. And this is the size of the egg. This is probably an egg that came from one of these particular birds at one time. Now, I've had this egg for years. I found it on one of my walks one day, and it never did hatch, and it looks to me like from those, I don't know if this is going to be a close enough picture for you, but anyway, it looks to me like there's two little peck holes in there. And I think that's what caused the egg not to be able to hatch. Some other bird or predator or something got to the egg. So anyway, what I did was I ended up, how you blow out an egg. You put a hole in one side and a hole in the other, and then you blow, and it all comes out. So anyway, I wanted to show you the size of egg that is in the nest that I'm hoping to show you a photo of. Yesterday, I looked up on YouTube how to include a picture in a video, in a YouTube video. So I'm hoping, and it gave me step-by-step directions, so I'm hoping to be able to do that today. I really want to post a picture at the end of my video, and I want to learn how to do that so that I can post other pictures too. If anyone else that's watching my channel knows of an easy way or how to put a picture inside of a YouTube video, I would love to know how. If you could just give me some comments when you comment, that would be wonderful. But for now, I am just going to try the step-by-step process to see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'll be changing my little Brianna into, and this is one of the outfits that she came with. And it's a vintage romper, and you can see all the lace, and it's embroidered. It's a machine embroidered all the way through, all the way around, And it came with this darling bonnet. And so I can't wait to get her changed into that. It's got little bows on the sides. And so along with that, I am going to put these little lacy shoes on her with pretty white bows. And then I found these gray, they're like Mary Jane socks, and they have lace on the edging. So I thought that would be really cute. And then I have, these are going to be her hair bows. And they're like lacy little cutout bows. So I'm really hoping that the lighting is okay today, because I only have one light going this direction. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And first, I wanted to tell you the story about my Bambi rescue. And I rescued a real-life Bambi many, many years ago on the farm. And the rescue actually ended up being my fault in the beginning, and I'll tell you all about that. Well, let's go ahead and take little Brianna's bows out. I always like to do that first. I'll take her little shoes off. So anyway, one day, many, many, many years ago, it was when, after I first, I think it was after I first retired, and, you know, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was going around taking pictures and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. Anyway, one day my husband came in, and he said, would you like to see a fawn? And I said, yeah, I would love to see a fawn. So he took me to, he took me down the hill, and he took me behind, there was we had a big, it's a black walnut tree. And it had tall grass around it, because my husband hadn't had a chance to weed eat or mow yet. Had tall grass around it, and inside the grass was this gorgeous little fawn that was probably just a couple of days old and looked just like this. I mean, this is really what they do look like, you know. And so I saw it, and I had, you know, when he came in and asked me if I wanted to see it, I had grabbed my my phone camera and went out with him. So I already had my camera with me. So anyway, he left to go do whatever he was going to do on the farm, and I started taking pictures, and I started taking pictures way far back, you know, to be careful. I didn't want to scare the baby. And by the way, you guys, just to interrupt for a minute, I don't have any short sleeve onesies for this little girl, and so I found this. This is a romper that my friend Pauline Halsworth had sent a long time ago, long time ago, a couple of years ago. And I found this, and it fits her perfectly, and so I'm going to use this as her onesie underneath short-sleeved outfits. And it just so happens that this onesie has cute little lace, short-sleeved lace edging around it. So it really, you know, matches up well with what I'm putting on her today. So we're going to leave this on her. Take her little socks off. So anyway, I continued taking pictures, and I discovered, now at this time I didn't know anything about deers or fawns, or, you know, I knew nothing about them. Later on I did research them, but anyway, this fawn just stood absolutely still. And I edged closer and closer and closer, and I got so near the fawn that I could touch the fawn, and I thought, oh my gosh, this fawn doesn't seem to be afraid. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pet the fawn. Well, I petted the fawn, and much to my dismay, the fawn bolted. And its first instinct was to get away from me, and so it ended up running down the bank, down the creek bank, and down in the creek and across the creek. And, you know, he couldn't get up the other side of the bank, and he kept trying, and he kept landing in the water. And it was really, it was really distressing for me to watch him, and I felt so bad, you know, what I had done. So anyway, it just so happened, well, let me see, I'll back up a little bit. So what I did was I had my tall water boots on, and so I waded across the creek. Thankfully it wasn't very deep at that time. Waded across the, you know, in the area where I was crossing, and got to the other side, and the baby, by that time, the baby was exhausted, and I was so afraid that it was going to drown, because, you know, he could hardly stand up at that point. He kept slipping on the mud off of the side of the bank, and it was really, really distressing for me, too. So anyway, it just so happened that my husband came back, out of some miracle. My husband came back from whatever he was doing, and he saw me, and I said, oh, he goes, oh, you know, asking me what happened and did I need help. And I said, yeah, I really need your help. This fawn, I tried to pet the fawn and it bolted, and now it can't get up on the other side of the creek, and I just don't know what to do. And by that time I was holding on to the fawn, because it, you know, like I said, it was exhausted. So my husband, he's 6'5", and so he's got really long legs, and he ended up where I was at that point was really deep water, and so he waded across, and I was holding on to the fawn in one arm, and he had my hand, and he helped me across the creek so that I wouldn't slip and fall. And meanwhile, the fawn was absolutely still in my arms. It just, you know, I think it was scared, and, you know, I learned later that whenever a mama deer leaves her baby to go get something to eat, she hides the baby, and then the baby has an instinct to not leave that spot ever, unless imminent danger comes, like what I did to it, and to this day I still feel bad about it. Anyway, so we got across the creek, and actually my husband took a picture of me with holding the baby fawn before I came back across the creek. And so when we got to the other side of the creek, to where the original black walnut tree was, I put the baby right exactly in the spot where the mama had left it. And so I thought, you know, and I didn't know if I touched the deer, if the mama wouldn't come back. I didn't know anything, you know. I was really worried that day. So so I told my husband, well, we'll put the baby back, and you know, I'm going to keep watch on this baby all day and into the evening, and make sure, you know, that the mama comes back. But if the mama doesn't come back, like by tomorrow morning, and the baby's still here, then I am going to try to raise the baby, because I'm a big fan of animals and pets and things, and so that's my first instinct, you know. But later I found out that it's best to contact you know, the wildlife service, because they're the professionals. Anyway, like I said, I learned a lot. Later on that evening, I went back to check to see if the fawn was okay, and the fawn was gone. And so my assumption is that the mama came back and took her baby out of that particular place because it was not safe for her. But that was, for me, that was a big, huge lesson learned. And like I said, since then I have researched, you know, fawns and mamas, and animals, and my husband said, you know, when he first saw this situation, he said, why did you want to pet the fawn? He goes, it's a wild animal. And I said, I don't know, you know me, I love animals and I love pets, and that's all I could say. I just had no answer other than I wanted to pet the fawn. So I'm wondering, yeah, that's kind of a light gray, but it's looking, I'm kind of colorblind with some colors, and it's kind of looking like this green. Now I'm wondering, but see, that's gray. I don't know now. But so anyway, let's see. What I will do, since she's got, I think I'm going to put these little pearls in her ears. I don't have any pure white earrings, but I think these little pearls will work just fine. I think she'll look pretty in ruffles and pearls. Yeah, I like that. I'm using white as like the accent color on her. And I think they look really pretty. There we go. So anyway, that was, like I said, that was a lesson learned, and I will never do that again. I will always want to take pictures, but I will never ever try to pick up or hold or pet any kind of wild animal, because you know, it just isn't going to work out in the end. Trust me. So anyway, getting back to little Brianna, I'm going to go ahead and put her shoes and socks on, and I love this outfit on her because of her her darling little chubby legs. I mean, she has got the cutest legs and little feet. And then her face, oh my gosh, that face. And her hands are very expressive. I'm in love with this Sculpt. She's just beautiful, yeah. And her eyes are gorgeous. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and put her shoes on. And so yeah, lesson learned about that fawn. And I did get to touch it, but I don't even remember now what it felt like, because I was, you know, everything happened so fast with the fawn rushing off, and then I had to go rescue it out of the creek and all that stuff. So, but anyway, we do have a lot of deer on our property, and fawns that are born, and it's always nice when I can, you know, see a fawn that's been hidden by its mom. Now, I haven't seen that very much anymore ever since that incident, so I think that the deers all got together and talked about that incident and said, do not hide your babies on the other side of the creek, because that human is going to get them. So, anyway, well, that looks really, really cute. I want to show you. Oh, and I put these little bows in her head, and I wanted to see what she looked like with the bonnet on. Did I show you the bonnet? Here's the matching bonnet. I think I did. Put that over her head very carefully. Yeah. She's really cute. That is really cute on her. That's a darling outfit that her artist sent with her. And someone on my channel had commented, they said, you know, they liked the way that I tied bows and wanted to see a demonstration. Well, the way I tie bows is so that the bows will lay right. I get behind the baby or whatever I'm tying a bow of, and I do the bow from this angle, and that way the bowstrings lay flat and lay downwards. And that's my trick. I discovered that a long time ago. I don't even recall how I did it, but I was frustrated because these things always were like up in the air and all that stuff. So I thought there's got to be another way to do this. So that's the way I do it. and the bow turns out really nice that way. And you can do that with sashes or bonnet bows or anything. But she looks darling in a bonnet. She's a cute little bonnet baby. All right. So that's all I have planned for today, and I hope you enjoyed my Bambi story and seeing my little bird egg. And like I said, I'm going to try to put my photo that I took of the bird egg at the end of my video. And if it doesn't work out, at least I showed you in the beginning, and I'll show you again the cute little bird egg. And this is, whoop, ooh, they're kind of slick, slippery. And this is the size right there. So there you go. All right, I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope to see you soon. And until we meet again, bye-bye.